Hello everyone. Um Welcome back. So after Zukosis irritated the hell out of me with its constant repetition and the fact that they just been constantly updating it, and uh, that was bullshit. Alright. You telling me, I don't know if it going invisible was on purpose or not, but for us to not have a way to even know, because I didn't even know where I was being attacked from, you know, and kind of looked like it was on purpose, and it also didn't look like it was on purpose. Whatever. But I thought maybe try out something else, something a little bit different from my usual, and that is a dating sim. Bloody Painter dating sim to be exact. Now to summarize it a bit down, we've been kidnapped by a serial killer, and it's our job to see if we can make it through 7 days or not. And there's it seems there might be different endings to it, so I'm gonna only go for one ending, and that's it. I'm not doing that multiple ending stuff no more. Oh no! Hold on. The language should be on English. There we go. Got it. Alright, cool. Ugh. With a severe headache, you wake up in an unfamiliar place. As you touch the bruise on the back of your head, it seems you were hit by something heavy before you lost conscience. A heavy iron chain tied around your feet. Someone has trapped you here. Try to remember what happens before you lost conscience, but you can't recall anything. Let's investigate the surroundings first. We have a cell phone? Oh, no service. Might be in a remote place or underground. Where to investigate next? The room is surrounded by four walls without any windows. It's weirdly cleaned up and no ashes or sand can be seen. It looks like a prison built by a germaphobe. Some mattress on the floor. Where to investigate next? Do the meal. That looks like a fancy meal right there. Spaghetti and some bottled water. Not glass, bottled water. With a cap that looks like it has not been broken. So it's a sealed bottled water. Also a round plastic fork that's completely harmless was thoughtfully attached. It's called a spork, alright? It's still warm. It feels like it was sent here not long ago. Where to investigate next? The door. Peek through the keyhole, but you see nothing outside. Wonder where I am. We're into the investigation. What's the next move? Listen. Can't hear any sound other than your own breathing. Soundproofing in this room seems really particularly good. Knocking over the meal seems dumb, and yelling for help also seems dumb. Seems like eating isn't an option, so I guess sleep. Try to sleep under this condition. Maybe it's the fatigue caused by nervousness, but you still fall asleep. You open your eyes after hearing some noises. And a tall man wearing a mask is squatting on the ground and looking at you with his head tilted. Now, I don't know people know creepy pastas, but this guy kind of looks like Eyeless Jack. Mixed in with a guy from an anime called Darker Than Black. I am gonna edit this video most likely. So I'll put an image of that mask right next to his face, so you guys can know what I'm talking about. He remains silent as if he is sizing up his prey. He points to the plate on the floor like indicating that you should finish your meal quickly. Thinking that the strange man might have poisoned the meal, you shake your head in fear. Seeing you have no intentions of eating, he looks quite distressed.
You can't die. Not now.
He slowly speaks with a deep and steady voice. And I didn't like that. Voice acting was on point. Considering it's not an English game, that was on point.
The freezer is full.
Alright, Dexter. What does that mean?
The freezer is full and there's no space for more. 7 days.
Pauses and thinks. I'm sorry, that just reminded me of The Ring. Where it's like you watch that videotape of The Ring and then you get a call that's saying 7 days. In 7 days you will die. That's what that reminded me of.
There won't be space until 7 days later. If you die now, you'll rot.
What do you mean? So I only have 7 days left to live? He nods and walks out of the door. Wait, you can't just leave me here like this? Please. Your cries can't stop the door from closing. Day 1. Let's investigate the surrounding first. Again, brother. A croissant. A bread and bottle. Not just any bread. Come on, it's a croissant. A croissant. And a bottle of water. You peek outside from the keyhole. You see the shadow of the man walking around. Seems to be busy with something. What is he doing? I'm sorry, I'm not good at female voices. So this seems to be a point and click game. Please try to improve your survival rate within 7 days. Day 2, morning. Let's investigate and look around. The meal. Just empty plate. I'm sorry, isn't that a bottle of water, or is that an empty water bottle? Okay. You check the keyhole. You seem to see something. What is that? You see that there's a vague figure at the end of the door. You sense something wrong and realize what that is after narrowing your eyes. Oh, that is an artwork made of the human body, not a human being. Not a very good art form. Looks like he took out the ribs. Basically the entire upper body, connected the head towards the lower body. Not half of it, you know. I got the point where you would see the ribs. That's like where it was cut off, and then put the head on there with hands surrounding it. Don't know how, but whatever. And we have flower petals around it. That's not a very good artwork, man. I mean, I wouldn't know about artwork with human body, but like that's not great, man. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that. You hear the door open. You slowly push the door and there's no trace of the strange man. First, you go into a room with a large freezer, sink, and operating table. Then you open another heavy door. You find yourself in a room full of glass display jars. We got fingers, might be, index fingers from the looks of it. We got teeth, usually molars, it might be a molar, eyes, tongue, and a pair of ears. So those are fingers, these are teeth. They look the same. I guess it's just to do a quick job at it. No liquid. Alright. The jars are all filled with specimens made from human body parts. It's like you're in an art museum. Oh look, there's a man right there folded like a table with I don't know what, some plant sticking out of it. There's clearly something looking like a bowl or something back there. Paintings of a disfigured body. Alright, these paintings are good. I don't know about that one. That's like on some human centipede type of thing. But this one, this is artwork that you will see rich people buy. Could it be that he wanted to freeze me as a material for specimen artwork? You're thinking. You see this scene. See, if I think about it in the situation of me, I would also say fuck, but I would also admire the artwork, like the paintings. I don't know about everything else, but the paintings. There was on to something with those paintings. I've seen creepier paintings than that. Look around and admire his work with relish. Look at them for 15 minutes
Interesting.
straight. You hear a voice coming from the corner. Alright, that's creepy, dog. Don't be on the corner. Turns out the man has been watching you from a blind spot behind a glass cabinet. I like them. They're so beautiful. The man goes silent with his head tilted for a couple of seconds after hearing your comment. He seems to be thinking about something.
Don't you consider it cruel or bloodthirsty to them?
No, I feel nothing at all. He could have made a sound instead of just dots. Could have been like,
You're such a weirdo.
You think, aren't you talking about yourself? After you have a tour in this display room, he locks you back in the small room you were in. You go to sleep to the end of the day. Your survival rate increases. Nice. Nice. I forgot we had to survive. Shoot. I'm gonna go get some water. Pretty parched. Day 3, night. Until noon, you don't see breakfast or lunch being delivered. You're already starving. Wait, so why did we skip? Day 1 is night. Day 2 is day or morning. And then day 3 is night. We just, dude, so much time frame, dude. We just skipped. You were waiting for him to bring dinner, but what you get is not dinner. Instead, you hear the door was opened. A light shines through the crack of the half open door. Half door, yeah. Man, nothing like some good water. A light shines through the crack of the half open door, looking like an intriguing invitation. You open the door and walk into that light. You first arrive at the room with an operating table outside of the door. But this time the operating table is not empty. There's a defrosted human corpse on it. The man pops out of somewhere. He unties the iron chains from your feet and hands the surgical knife in his hands to you.
First, where do you think the first cut should be?
Well, I'll guess like a cadaver, so the chest. His voice tone sounds cold, like the kind of teacher who gives students hard questions on purpose. Can't relate. Not a single question given to me was hard. That was the problem. Ask him with surgical knife. I can't do it. Stab the corpse. Attack him with. Attack him with surgical knife. You don't want to do that. This guy has a mask and everything. Like he's a professional killer here. If you attack him with it, you're probably gonna lose. Can't do it. Stab the corpse. Not specific enough. If you think about cadavers, they're opened almost like a T on the chest. Almost not exactly. That's a lie. Let me remember how it's opened. I think it's a line down the middle of the chest, of the top of body, from chest down to I think somewhere in the abdomen. You don't want to go all the way to the stomach because then the guts spill out and stuff. And then you want to have a cross, so I believe it's somewhere under the rib cage, I want to say. I know this because I studied. I didn't study to be serial killer. I studied some anatomy, so I know a little bit. Maybe beautiful works always come with some sacrifices. Without hesitation, you stab the abdomen of the corpse with a knife. But due to the lack of professionalism, the lines you cut are crooked and ugly. And this is when he gets close behind your back and holds your hand. You're both holding the surgical knife like you two are cutting a cake together. I'm getting to a narrator type of mode here. With his hands, the lines you cut become smooth and clean. You can smell an ocean perfume on him due to how close you are. It seems to be sprayed to cover up the smell of formalin. Formaldehyde? I'm sorry, but you mean formaldehyde? The thing used to keep body parts in pristine state once they're cut off and put in a jar filled with formaldehyde. You can feel his warmth with your back, but his fingers are a little cold. He's focusing on cutting the corpse, and your hands keep moving under his lead. He could have killed you or ignored you, but he didn't. You start to speculate on the purpose of his behaviors. Could it be that he wants someone who can ignore the cruelty and process and understand him? You think. Take a sip of water. After the happy creative time ends, you're locked in the room you were in. You go to sleep to the end of the day. To end the day. Day 4, noon. Until noon, you don't see breakfast or lunch being delivered. Mm. I'm sorry. Noon is like that's like preem, lunchtime or dinner. So okay, all right. You're already starving. You notice that something is shining at the corner. A key. Seems like the man accidentally dropped it last night. You open the door with the key. There's no accident, he planned it. You go past the operating table where you spent creative time together last night. The display room. Then you discover that there are unnatural, uneven marks from one wall to the corner. OCD? I don't see any. I mean, I guess this thick ass. I don't. That's corner. That walls. I don't know. What's a door? You find a trap door. After pushing the trap door, you see a normal basement storage room. At the corner of the storage room, you see a stair that goes up. It turns out that this is really an underground secret room. Hidden layer by layer of trapdoor. No wonder the sound insulation is so good. You walk up the stairs and see a heavy wooden board. You push it hard. What catches your eye is the interior of a cozy cabin. You realize the heavy wooden board you just pushed is the back of the bookcase. How does she have strength to push a bookcase? Even without books, you know, bookcases they're still pretty heavy, you know? You look around and find that there are insect specimens everywhere in the cabin, and there's also a reindeer head specimen hanging on the wall. Deer. A deer. I want to specify that deer is deer, reindeer or not. It's a male deer because of the antlers. Only male deers have antlers like that, as far as I'm aware of. I don't even really know if reindeer's a thing, but I see dead plants. A picture of what looks like the guy and some other guy, so. And, creatine? What is that? That looks like a creatine tub, whatever. Or pre-workout tub. Then you walk into the living room. You see a young man with a handsome face and a pale skin lying on the sofa. The ocean-scented perfume and the faint smell of formaldehyde emanates from his body. It's him. He is the masked man who kidnapped you. He is not wearing a mask at this time. His sleeping face has. Alright, we all fuck up on ratings sometimes, alright? His sleeping face has a ferocious expression. His neck is sweating and he seems to be trembling. Looks like he's sick. At this time, you decide to. I know I said I just want to go for an ending. But I feel like if you try to take the opportunity to escape, he's gonna wake up and probably kill you off the bat. So, um, we're gonna stay. Oh man, choices to be made, and I decided to make this one. Stay and take care of him. You can't bear to leave him alone, so you reach out and touch his forehead. Whoa, so hot. You try to find something that can cool him down. Let's investigate. Why do you... Alright, living room. The living room is spotlessly clean. Where to investigate next? No wonder he's hardly constantly cleaning with bleach and formaldehyde. They're not good chemicals to constantly be inhaling, you know? Especially bleach. Like, I personally cannot stand the intense smell of bleach. It actually makes it feel like I'm smelling blood in my nose most of the time. It's like I could taste it from the back of my throat as well. I hate it. Not the self specimens. Yeah, let's investigate the specimens. Feels like he did them all. The workmanship of these specimens is exquisite. We got beetles and we got butterflies. I don't know anything about beetles. But that looks like a Hercule beetle. Where to investigate next? Photo frame. There's a photo frame on the shelf. It's a photo of him standing at the entrance of the Judicial Mental Hospital with a man in a doctor's robe. Where to investigate next? Okay. Shelf. Cocoa powder, huh? There's a jar of cocoa powder and a cup on it. Where to investigate next? I forgot to do that voice. Let's do the shelf again. I see the locked box. There's a box with a combination lock on the shelf. I don't know it. Bookcase. You find some of the profile files in the bookcase. Name Helen Otis. Gender male. Birthday October 1st, 1980. Damn, who is he? Michael Myers? Born in October? That's crazy. October 1st? That's even crazier. 1st or the 31st? That's the most. Alright. You know. Where to investigate next? The man. He seems to be in pain. He's still having a fever. Shit, Sherlock. The sofa? You don't think it's good for a patient to sleep on the sofa. But you can't move him with your strength. She moved a bookshelf and you're telling me she can't move this man that looks about maybe 230 pounds. Nothing but lean muscle. Who's sick. So I don't know, man. Priorities are not prioritizing. We checked everything. All we found was cocoa, some hot chocolate. So end of investigation. Yes. Kitchen. The kitchen is spotlessly clean. I'm telling you, bleach and formaldehyde, not good chemicals to be inhaling all the time. There are some ice cubes in it. These can cool down his body temperature. I don't. So if I remember correctly about fevers, is your body is producing all this heat and making you sweat because there is virus or something attacking your immune system. And the fevers is what's letting you know that it's happening. So the fevers, the high temp and the sweat is important. No, I mean, chicken noodle soup, I don't know what, un caldo de res or something, I don't know, man, like, not ice cubes, you know? You want, it's not, I guess. You know, certain situations you want to cool the body down, but like in terms of like a sickness, like a fever or something, it's like you want to, you know, speed up the process of whatever's happening. Sort of. I don't know. Don't take advice from me. I don't really get sick, and if I do get sick, I just, my way of dealing with it is sweat it out. That's the way I do it. I deal with my sicknesses is just like sweat it out. Oh, I have a cold, sweat it out. I have a fever, sweat it out. My stomach hurts, I'm gonna sweat it out. That's the way I deal with that. You find some clean towels in the kitchen cabinet. I can soak a towel in ice water and place it on the patient's forehead to cool him down. The patient. Alright. You return to the living room, wring out the excess water from a towel soaked in ice water and place it on his forehead. His ferocious expression gradually softened. You once again notice his fair skin and long eyelashes and his slightly curled black hair. Yeah, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. If you don't say he is a murderer, his sleeping face looks very harmless now. After a while, he wakes up to the scent of your brewing cocoa and sits up on the couch. Alright, look at that face. Come on. I mean, man, I mean, shit. I mean, shit. I mean, come on, you know. Blue eyes, curly black hair, bro. Tall, slim. That's the femboy that we're looking at. He looks a little shocked. He looks around quickly and seems to understand what is going on.
Why are you doing this?
I need to ask myself that too.
You saw me faint and didn't choose to run away. You're such a weirdo.
Alright, Dexter. That's what I'm gonna call him. Sort of question mark. It's gonna be Dexter. Is there anyone weirder than you in this house? You can't help but bitch about him. You seem to see the corner of his mouth rising slightly for a few seconds and the atmosphere between you relaxes. He doesn't drink the cocoa you brewed for him. It seems that he is still a little wary of you. Can you tell me who you are?
Bloody Painter. That's the name they gave me for my modus operandi. If you find it difficult to pronounce, you can call me BP.
Even though what he told you was just a nickname, at least you know how to call him now. Now I'm calling him Dexter. Ice truck killer. Nah, Dexter wouldn't be like that. Nah, Dexter's too cool for this guy. We're gonna narrate. not staying to take care of him when he fell ill was enough to prove that you won't run away. You get up from the sofa and continue to look at the specimen decorations in the living room. He sits on the sofa, crosses his legs, picks up a book and starts reading.
By the way, you better not try to escape. There are traps all around the cabin, and only I know how to get in and out safely.
So even if you tried to escape, I wouldn't been caught on a trap. That's good to know. You sit on the sofa and the dog barks loudly. Not my dog. Neighbor's dog. I have small dogs. And one cat. I could either wait out the dog or keep going while the dogs bark like crackheads. Soon a wave of sleepiness comes over you. It's like the dogs in my neighborhoods are communicating right now. What is going on? There's this one barking right next door, and then there's another one a couple houses down that I could hear that it's also barking and communicating with the one that's right here next door. What? Sometimes I wonder what dogs are communicating about, man, because it's like, what are you guys yapping about? Alright. Today, you fall asleep on the sofa in the living room, not in the cold underground secret room. Your survival rate increases. Day 5, morning. You see him busy cleaning in and out of the house early in the morning. So, you could have died in a situation where it was run away or stay and take care of him. Because he just said there's traps. So there's that. So I'm guessing the more your survival rate increases throughout the days, the easier it'll be to live. Maybe not freely live, but you know, live without the fear of being killed. I guess that's a thing. I'll come help you too. The finishing. I forget this isn't originally an English game, so translations are a little bit off. After finishing speaking. I'm losing my mind with this shit. After, what would be the proper way of saying it? I don't think that's proper. I don't know, like present action speaking words. I don't know. Speaking words. After you finish speaking, you pick up the rag and bucket, joining the cleaning. Too many ands, that is not literally accurate. Lit. Alright. We can't really see where this almost flawless house needs to be cleaned. It's Pablo, come here. My cat's over here squealing. I thought it was this weird looking dog right here. Alright. Pablo. Oh, Pablo. Or he's gonna go off and do his own little thing. Pets, man, pets. I don't know. You love them and you hate them. You know? Alright, I guess. You're just taking a clean wet rag and wiping it on the clean cabinet. Do you usually love cleaning this much?
It would soon be covered with a layer of dust.
Cool, that's not what he said. It must be clean like this 1 or 2 times a week. Otherwise, it would soon be covered with a layer of dust. That's the only part that was voiced. I have to go see what that cat is meowing about. Although he doesn't talk much, his tone and voice give you a gentle feeling and don't make you feel nervous. You climb up the short ladder and wipe the high cabinets with a rag. Suddenly, a cockroach crawls out from the crack in the cabinet. Oh, I'm sorry, I would have freaked the fuck out. You are yeah, that makes sense. You are so frightened that you lose your balance and fall backwards. You close your eyes, but what you get is not the pain of a falling to the fall to the ground, but a warm feeling. You open your eyes and find that he's holding you like you're a princess. He catches you, the same old cold expression on his face.
Are you all right?
Perhaps to resolve the awkwardness, he asked. I'm alright. It was just a cockroach. Hearing the words cockroach, he puts you down. He takes 2 steps back from the cabinet you just wiped and then says calmly,
Don't come near here yet.
yeah, he's a germaphobe. I'll be fair though, fuck. Burn the kitchen down, I don't care. No, I'm just playing. Don't do that. Why?
It's dangerous.
That's fair. Cockroaches carry many diseases. You can't help but chuckle at the thought of a murderer being afraid of cockroaches. Fine, whatever you say. The interaction just now makes you feel a little warmth from his cold murderer. At least you see more of his reactions and expressions. This is the rare relaxation you have felt in these tense days. He could have let you fall off the ladder, but he rushed over to catch you. Somehow, you feel that after these few days of getting along, maybe now, you both have different ideas about each other than you originally had. It was only a clear relationship between a murderer who wanted to hunt and prey who was trying to escape. But now, it has an extra layer of friendship, causing the interaction between you to have an indescribable sense of dissonance. Just when you pick up the old newspaper and prepare to wipe the window, you find a police car parked on the road in the distance. Two police officers get out of the car and keep looking towards the cabin. At some point, BP is already behind you, looking out the window with you.
Wait for a second.
Then he walks out of the door to talk to the police officers.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Alright. I can do this. Alright. Are you Mr. Otis?
Yes, I am.
Have you ever seen these people around here? The police officer takes out some photos from his pocket.
Have these people committed a crime and are running away?
No. These people are the missing people around this area.
I haven't seen them before, but wolves and bears often appear around here.
Can we check out your cabin?
Yes, come in.
BP behaves very kindly and politely. After speaking, he leads the way for the police officers.
Please, follow my footsteps. I placed some traps near the cabin to protect against wild wolves and bears. You don't want to step on them.
Police officers enter the house and see you. Hello, this is
An old friend who came to visit me recently.
Okay. Alright then. You greet the police officer with a smile and a nod. At the same time, a police officer quickly looks through the missing person's photos in his hands. Then he puts the photo back into his pocket. It seems that your disappearance has not been discovered by anyone yet. You stand next to the bookcase, blocking the entrance to the secret room. After searching around, the police find nothing unusual and leave. Trusting you increases. Alright. Today, you still sleep on the couch in the living room instead of the cold basement. Half asleep, you hear the sounds of someone approaching. When you notice it, the person seems to be very close to you. You pretend to be asleep and the person just looks at you, sleeping face quietly. The man stretches out his hands and it takes it back just as he's about to touch your hair.
Tisk.
Ooh. I just want to say, tisk isn't usually tisk. It's more like when you suck your teeth. You know what sucking your teeth is? It's basically making the noise of like, like. Sometimes when you're trying to call an animal, it's like. Take away from this damn cat. Oh, it's windy outside. I just noticed the trees waving around from the. I noticed it's because of the shadow that's causing, but it's like, damn. Windy outside. But yeah, you get me. Tisk isn't tisk. It's like, you know, like a. It sounds like a like tisk, but I'm it's sucking your teeth basically. You know, it's a sound I did a lot, and I got my ass beat for it a lot, and I still do it. It didn't help. I'm just saying. But it's tisk isn't like tisk. You know, you don't say it. It's more of a. It's mimicking a sound that is made from an action. You get me? I don't know how to explain it that well, but it's not. I'm trying to explain what tisk really is. It's not saying the word. Tisk isn't a word, it's a sound. It's not a word, it's a sound. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not a word, it's a sound. It's a sound put in letters so we could see how it you know, you get me. It's I don't know. I always find that I don't know why that just makes me want to complain. Turns around and leaves. I'm not doing that. Day 6 morning. So this is apart from this, but this is taking overall this video is taking about maybe an hour, so I guess we're gonna complete it within an hour, and then I'm gonna do some cuts and a little stuff here and there, and actually try to edit for once in my goddamn life of making a video. A video might be a little bit small. I just realized on my Streamlabs it's not on frame with what it should actually be with, because it didn't detect that as games. I had to pull up a whole new screen. Technicalities apart. You see him busy in the kitchen for a while. Then breakfast is served in front of you. There is a piece of toast with just the right crispiness on the large round plate. A poached egg on top of the toast, and some lettuce salad, and 2 tomatoes on the side. I don't know what lettuce salad is. And just lettuce? I've eaten just lettuce before, and I wouldn't call it lettuce salad. But that looks delicious. That looks like a piece of toasted milk bread, which milk bread on its own is this fluffiness that it's just delicious fluffiness from Japan. It's man, they're innovators. Japan, they're fucking food innovators, man, and technology innovators, obviously, but and anime, but it's like food wise, it's like Jesus Christ, the shit to come up with is, you know, something you normally wouldn't come up with as a normal person. But if you're not normal and you're like me and you have ADHD, I probably shouldn't say that, but you know, you're not normal, you're overtly creative, and you can't really stand still much for a long time, and you've got to fidget constantly. You know, you'll come up with some shit like this, or something like milk bread, or fresh bananas with cream cheese on a piece of bread. I think it's fresh fruit. I don't know, they have some very interesting stuff, and their convenience stores out there is way better, you know, than out in the States. It's just like, man, I wish we had that kind of stuff. Food aside, back to the game. The plating looks delicious. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. The drink is a cup of freshly brewed hot cocoa I'm sorry. If it was coffee, it was just. Yeah. Well, mito. You know, coffee is just great. Colombian coffee. Ah, man. Colombian coffee with some creamer, you know? I don't put sugar on my coffee because I put creamer, and if you put creamer, that's already just a shit ton of sugar, you know, from just that creamer. And I like Irish cream, so I do not half and half. Half and half is like type of creamer, which is like half milk and then half cream or something like that. I do about, I want to say, maybe 60% coffee and about 40% cream, which is bad. It's pretty sugary considering what my diet has been. I don't drink coffee often anymore, but it's like that's how I drank my coffee. You know, it's like 60% coffee and then 40% sugar. Or even sometimes I'll go with 50 coffee and 50 sugar, or 50 sugar, 50 creamer, and it's like, damn, you know. But at least I don't put sugars like everyone else. Everyone else would be like coffee, creamer, and then they'll put shit ton of sugar in there, and it's like, why? You already put creamer in there. You know, if it's for flavor, the creamer is gonna give the flavor of the coffee. The coffee already has flavor, so it's just I don't know. I guess a properly brewed coffee would have more flavor than an improperly brewed coffee. Why am I going on a rant about coffee? I'm very enthusiastic about coffee apparently. I'm a yapper. The cutlery he gives you is still a round plastic fork with no offensive features called a spork. So from now on, I'm gonna say a spork. You sit at the dining table and start eating while he sits on the chair opposite of you and flips through a book. It's still snowing out. When was it snowing? When did it ever notify us that it was snowing outside? It's still snowing outside, and listening to the squeaking sound of the fireplace. Again, the fireplace, when, where, the atmosphere in the cabin is particularly comfortable. As long as you ignore the fact that you are in the same room with the murderer who kidnapped you, everything is really relaxing. You look at him, who is full of mysteries, and some questions arise in your mind, and you decide to. We're gonna ask carefully, because asking loudly, that's like you're comfortable with the person, you know. That's like that's like when you sit with family. If you ever sit with family and you eat, and you're a healthy family with a healthy family environment, where you'll ask things loudly, or like, you know, you've been in a relationship for a long time and you guys are used to it, so it's not like you're careful on asking. It's more like you're just gonna ask out loud. But in a situation like this, do you ask carefully? Can I ask you a question?
What is it?
What?
Usually,
Could
I would
you-
read some anatomy and taxidermy books, but today is different.
I'm sorry, anatomy is an okay book to read, but if you're reading anatomy and taxidermy and you're not gonna be a fucking taxidermist, bro, come on, man. That's like screaming out you're some type of serial killer. Over here doing stuff Michael Myers was doing with rats and pets. Crazy. Wild. What are you reading today?
The Truman Show.
I'm sorry, The Truman Show? That's not a book I was expecting to hear. That's a good book, though, man. That was a good job on that, man. Good job. BP? 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 BP. Why am I stuck on pronouncing it those two letters correctly? Because I say PB, I'm gonna think Adventure Time. BP, that's just like, I don't know. I guess BP. What is the book like?
The whole world that the protagonist lives in, including himself, is all just someone's creation. Everything that happens is watched by the audience, and there is no privacy at all. But he is completely unaware that he is in such a large theater. Very ridiculous, right? I can't imagine this to happen in reality, or to me.
I see what he did. I see what they did there. That's pretty funny, you know. That's funny. That's funny. That's a good concept, though. I love when books or shows or anything really just introduces that concept in a good manner. That's not like, well, obviously copying some other book or show, you know. It's a non-unique concept, but concept that is put in correctly is a good concept. Like right here, it's being put into here, but as a joke. That's a good concept. That's a good way of doing it.
If our world was like the Truman Show, how would the audience view the current situation?
Probably not great. I didn't realize that was a question. I'm gonna go with excited.
Why?
People are freaks. They may be attracted by your charm and want to be killed. My point being fucking made. People are freaks. Like me. I mean, I'm gonna want to be killed. You know, I'm not on that level. Nor am I a Donum, but I wouldn't want to be killed. That's pretty weird. I know some people like that, though. I know a bunch of people like that. And there's a lot of people like that out in the world. Crazy. Yeah, man, that's that same look I have on my face. It's like, oh, shit.
Incomprehensible.
You would think that, but after a while, you'll understand it.
But what a bunch of weirdos with good taste.
I don't know about good taste, but weirdos for sure. It's hard to tell from his poker face whether he's seriously boasting or joking. Pick a book next to you and read it. What work are you going to use for me? What work are you going to use? You ask bravely. He looks up at you for a moment.
I was going to make you into some kind of doll at first. Your eyes are beautiful, but if they are left alone, they'll become rotten and sunken. So I would like to dig your eyes out and put them in a glass jar and soak them in formalin to preserve them.
Formaldehyde?
Glass beads will be placed in the empty eye sockets to replace the eyes.
Yeah, but it won't give it that same look, man.
You look very pleasing to the eye, so I would also like to keep the head intact.
Now, when I say it won't give it that same look, I'm not I'm not speaking out of experience, but out of philosophical sake. I feel like what gives people, what tends to give eyes a good look is the people themselves, not the actual eyes. It's like when they say the eyes are the window to the soul. It's like somebody who's been through something and you look them directly in their eye. It's almost like you could see it. You get me? Their eyes almost look mute. You get me? Whereas to someone who maybe they've been through some stuff as well, but they keep it light and they keep it joyful, and they keep on moving forward and they keep striving for moving forward. And you look at them in their eyes and it's beautiful. It's like their eyes have a light that you haven't seen and you haven't seen in your own self. So something like that, like, you know, taking someone's eye out and then preserving them. A lot of serial killers, not a lot of, I don't know if there's any actual serial killers like that, but I played I think maybe Batman had one like that, or watched a few, I don't know, shows or something. They just keep doing it because it that dies, that feeling that you get from looking at those eyes die out, and they die out for that reason. It's no longer with the person. You know, that's the whole concept, the whole, you know. I rant about coffee and then I start getting philosophical. I don't know what. I don't know. Maybe these games aren't good games for me to play. Stop. This is terrible. It is terrible, but I say thanks for the compliment.
You're welcome.
Why did you say at first? Has his mind changed? Yeah. You're curious, but you don't have the guts to ask any further. Pick up the book. You pick up the book next to you and start flipping through. It's a book about the possibility of having a completely opposite version of yourself in a parallel world. I thought about that before. If there's a complete opposite version of you, what do you think it will be like?
Oh, that book.
Seeing as his current version is the germaphobe, focused on cleaning, and is a serial killer, the other one is probably... So in terms of opposites, it's usually personality-wise. He might still be a serial killer, but he might be a dirty serial killer. Or he might be completely normal. Normal.
Let me think. Probably a guy wearing a burgundy coat and always having a smile on his face.
Why is it a burgundy coat? I had that same thought. That was very specific, man.
Because I like blue. If he is the opposite of me,
It will
he
be
should
red.
like red, right?
Yeah, I get that. Yeah, yeah, that kind of makes sense. That does make sense. I saw many potted plants on the shelves in the living room, but why were they all withered?
I have tried my best.
It doesn't have a green thumb.
I don't know why they always die.
Conversation. Day 6 still, but it's noon. So I guess that's a good thing. It's noon time. To thank you for making breakfast for me today, let me make lunch in return. He frowns at you with an expression like, are you out of your mind? Don't worry, you said there are traps outside the house. Only you know how to get in and out normally. Even if I resist you with a knife, I can't escape. Huh, you forgot.
Okay, but I'll keep an eye on you. Don't try anything stupid.
great. As for what to cook and the ingredients, well, a bad idea flashes through your head and curiosity makes you ask. You do, you, do you eat human flesh?
No. Why would I do that?
Oh good, he's not a cannibal. I don't know. Do you guys draw your limit or your line at serial killer, obviously? Or do you draw your line at, well, maybe serial killers, maybe it's okay depending on what they do. But a cannibalism, I draw my line at cannibalism. Do you draw your line at cannibalism? I draw my line at cannibalism. Because killing people is one thing, but killing and eating people, that's like, come on, man. First of all, it's been proven that sharks don't even like the taste of human meat. There's some that do develop the taste for it, but like in majority of the time, it's like we taste disgusting, and it makes sense that we taste disgusting considering the things we consume and the things some people consume on a daily. It's like, why would you eat human meat? You know, and I think there's a serial killer that said people with tattoos tasted nasty because of ink that tainted the meat and stuff. So it's like, I don't know, I draw my line at cannibalism. I don't fuck with that. I mean, I don't fuck with serial killers either. It's just, I'm more okay with one than I am with the other. Serial killer, maybe, depending on what you do and how you do it. Cannibal, yeah, no, you're out, dog. Like I'm not even gonna try to talk to you, dog. Like I would kill the cannibal faster than I would kill a serial killer. I don't know, man. That's just me. Like I would try to talk to a serial killer and then trying to understand them a little bit more and trying to see if I could bring them back from that. You know, make them more quote unquote human. Cannibalism is like, dude, we don't even taste good at all. You know, like majority of these animals that are meat eaters only, most of them don't even like the taste of human meat. It's weird, disgusting. And considering the things we consume, it's like, it makes sense. We're disgusting. We taste disgusting. Our blood is probably most likely disgusting. No, I don't know. People are just weird. Cannibalism, yeah, that's where I draw my line. That was my whole rant.
I just use human bodies as materials for making art, and I never think about eating them.
That's fair. I thought you murderers all had some degree of cannibalism. No?
Let's put it this way. Do you eat paint and painting tools?
I mean, a toddler might, you know. Marine Corps is known for being crayon eaters for a reason.
Just because I kill people to use as materials to make works doesn't mean I will eat them. Also, I'm different from those who have fun committing a crime and kill purely for the sake of killing.
A serial killer with motives, that's just like Dexter. I can fuck with that. I fuck with that.
Don't confuse me with that kind of unprincipled guy. I wouldn't do anything unless necessary. You are here only because you witnessed the crime scene.
I see. After hearing this, you decide to cook a common dish, cook a human meat dish. Why are we gonna cook a human meat dish after he just was trying to prove your point? Or I know some people like that. You just look at the ingredients in the refrigerator. There are eggs, tomatoes, white rice, and some curry powder on the shelf. I like where this is going. Okay, I've decided. You turn on the stove. What? But yeah, it sounded like a stove. You turn on the stove and start to cook. BP watches the entire production process. Rather than worrying about you escaping, he's more worried about you blowing up the kitchen. Ironically enough, most women cannot cook, so I can relate to that. Not on a woman. I'm being worried that she might blow up the kitchen. I can cook. I could cook. Soon after, a normal curry omelette rice was served. That looks fucking marvelous. I'm gonna need to learn to cook that. He stares at the omelette rice without saying a word. Don't worry, there's no poison. When you're watching the whole process, he starts to move after you finish speaking. He takes a spoonful of omelette rice and puts it in his mouth. What do you think?
It's surprisingly quite delicious.
What's wrong?
Nothing. It's just that no one has cooked for me for a long time.
I can make you more if you like. You had a fairly pleasant afternoon. Day 6 late at night.
Hey!
Huh? That's what should have been there, huh? Not just a question mark. Huh? Cause me and if you're asleep and somebody wakes you up randomly like that, you're gonna be half asleep. First of all, you're gonna be half asleep and probably irritated as fuck. Cause I get irritated as fuck when I get woken up like that. I'm like, huh? What? Huh? What? I get like Zim from that one meme, or from that one scene where it's where he's just like, huh? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I'm sorry, sometimes I'm deaf and I do say huh a lot, so I can relate to Zim on that part. Just like, huh? Huh? What? My cat is doing some fuck shit. Probably bullying the dog again. I forgot to narrate that you are woken up by the man with his crayon eyes. That looks like crayon. That outline looks like crayon. His face. His face is close to you, and his blue eyes are staring at you. What's wrong? I can't do a woman's voice that well, so don't expect it to be great. You sit up on the couch and rub your eyes.
Got to go.
Gotta go?
I've noticed something unusual about the number of police cars patrolling nearby recently. They must have some relevant evidence and are doubting it. It is very likely there is an ambush outside. It's snowing heavily outside now, and I think it's time to leave now. Come with me or not, it's your choice.
Oh, so we could save here. I don't know why it's an Asian letter, so I have it on English. Are we gonna save? Can we save? Can I save here? Let me save. Déjame salvar. Oh, right there. I knew that button was there. Don't you damn me a single second. I knew that button was there. That looks like a pause symbol. So out of the sake of what people might like, people are gonna want to go with him. Logically, they normally wouldn't offer you a choice. You know, that's just, I'm not a professional, but I'm not a serial killer or a professional on serial killers, but normally they wouldn't offer you a choice. And normally you wouldn't get the chance to connect with them like this. Or just kill you in their ritualistic ways. But sake of people who would play this game and stuff, I say go with him. I also want to go with him, man. Just run away together, man. Why would I say that? Whatever. What do you want me to do? I'm fine with both choices, but I need to look me in the eyes and tell me, what do you prefer me to do? You stare at his eyes.
I prefer.
He hesitates to speak and looks away, looking like he's thinking about something. I panicked. I saw a timer there. I think I pressed it on time. Your behavior makes him a little panicked, and he doesn't seem to be good at this kind of situation. You notice that his ears are flushed, and this unexpected reaction makes you want to tease him a little bit. What do you want? What do you prefer me to do? I'm sorry, my cat's litter box is in my room and that shit. This motherfucker. Wow. Hijo de chingada madre, bro. Like, I'm gonna spray my room in fucking Lysol in a minute. What do you prefer me to do?
I prefer.
After a moment of silence, he slowly speaks.
That you come with me.
He tries hard to look you in the eyes and speaks his thoughts.
We'll set off early tomorrow morning.
Day 7. Early morning.
Follow my footsteps.
He has a mask on. You follow the shoe prints he leaves on the snow and finally succeed in avoiding the many traps around the cabin. Just as you are walking through the forest, you hear movement behind you. Freeze! In the snowstorm, several policemen were lying in ambush. Chase after you. You ignore them and keep running forward. Bang! A gunshot shoots across the sky and you feel a pain in your left calf. You are shot. He turns to look at you as if he's considering whether to leave you. Run! You yell at him, but he approaches you. And he holds you in his arms. You feel a warmth on your forehead. He kisses your forehead. You feel the time freeze at this moment. The kiss is almost like a goodbye. Then he leaves you and runs forward, disappearing into the heavy snow. You are later taken back to the police for questioning. You say throughout the process that you were a victim. On that note, you're not lying. You don't reveal any unnecessary details. Since there is no relevant evidence to prove that you are an accomplice, the police can only release you after a long period of interrogation. After that, 2 years pass. Now you live in a cheap little apartment. You live an ordinary life as if what happened 2 years ago never happened. Today is Halloween, and every household nearby has put some thought into making decorations. But for you, it's just another day at work. When you return to your apartment after getting off work in the evening, the strange thing is that as soon as you open the door, you feel a gust of wind. You remember that you closed the window before going out. Just when you are about to close the window, you find a gift left by someone on the table next to the windowsill. A red rose. You don't know why, but you have a feeling that BP has been here. Every Halloween after that, you receive a rose at your residence. It's like a once a year greeting. Although he says nothing, the rose seems to tell everything. Although you have certain similarities, you are two people from different worlds after all. Perhaps living your own life this way is the best outcome for both of you. Oh, I got chills. And it makes me want to watch Dexter, so probably. I did say I'm going for one ending, and I am only going for one ending. This ending 4, the 2 or 4 out of 2. Ending 4-2, different worlds. That's alright. So there's different endings. This is a good ending, apparently. Yeah, that's it. And that was a good. I don't know, it was short. I'll give you that, it was short. That's about an hour. So it's pretty short. An hour is short. Imagine saying that. I guess that was pretty short. But it was pretty good. It was pretty good. And this game, I hope it gets a lot more credit. And I hope it gets more popular than what it is, because the fan base that this game would have would be ridiculous. Because first of all, a guy like that with a mask resembling someone like Eyeless Jack from a creepypasta that people fucking went bonkers over would be incredible, just great, just magnificent. Can't think of enough adjectives. But this was a good game. This was a good game, and it was good for me as a point of being different from what I've usually played and recorded and played. So thank you guys for watching. And if I don't know, I would also I would take considerations of what anybody wants to give me to play. I'll probably try to play it. Dating sims are fine with me. I'm just never sure if people are gonna want to watch it, but something like this is, man, this was something. I'm yapping too much. Thank you guys all for watching, and thank you for being with me and enjoying my narration. If you enjoyed it, it was incredible. Don't lie to me. Don't lie to me. Good narration, wasn't it? Apart from the yapping, but I'm still yapping. I should end it. Thank you for watching the video, and please watch all my other videos. They're pretty good. They're pretty great. They're okay, actually. I don't know. They're good. I tend not to edit because, like many people, I don't enjoy the sound of my own voice. And that's an actual thing, like an actual scientific thing. I don't remember what it's called, but it's an actual thing. where your voice sounds one way in your head, but like if you record yourself and then you hear the playback of yourself, it's just it sounds different, and it's not what you're expected, and it sounds foreign to you and to your brain. So it's you get this feeling of like, ugh, I don't like my own voice. When it's like maybe your voice isn't that bad, it's just foreign to yourself and to your brain to see and know that that's your voice, but it doesn't sound how you think it sounds. And so your brain doesn't make that connection, and then gets that weird yeah, blah 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 blah, yapping. I'm yapping. Thank you guys for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys next time on the next game. Maybe not a dating sim. Maybe I'll think about it. I'll see what's out there. I'll look for some games, and I'll see what is out there. But catch you guys next time.